What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I am super excited because we are going to be putting so many different dupes to the test. I'm so excited. I always love when I find a great drugstore dupe, and I feel like recently I have purchased quite a few or discovered a few in my collection for products that I absolutely love for like super hyped up makeup. So I'm really interested to see how these hold up and if they pass kind of like the test. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one half of my face with high end. Most of these products are like super viral high-end makeup. And then on the other half, I'm going to use a drugstore dupe and we're gonna see like how they compare, how they contrast, what they look like, all that kind of stuff, and see if they're actually dupes. So I'm really excited. And for today's video, again, like I said, I have so many like viral ones, and some of the products that I'm trying to dupe are like some of my all-time favorite high-end products too. So I'm really excited to see how everything holds up. So without further ado, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and click the bell right next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of all my future uploads. And let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, up first for primer, we have one of my all-time favorite high-end primers, and that is the Say Glowy Super Gel. I have this one in the shade Star Glow. This is absolutely stunning. I love it, but it is a pricier product. It's $28, which for a primer, that is a lot. I'm gonna go in with this. I'm gonna apply just some to a regular beauty blender, and I'm gonna apply it on this side of my face. That's where I will do the high-end side. Why I like this product is it gives me a really pretty glow on my skin, a slight little tint, but it's also quite hydrating. So I do like that. But apparently the Neutrogena Radiant Primer Plus Serum is supposed to be a dupe for this. This is $14.99, so it's just about half the price. And with drugstore price point, it does range, so that is the average price. You may be able to find it for a little bit less or potentially a little bit more depending on where you're purchasing it. But I'm gonna go in with this on this side of my face. I'm gonna be using the Kokie makeup sponge for the more drugstore side. Honestly, I like the Kokie makeup sponge better than the Beauty Blender, and this is like $5 and the Beauty Blender is $20. So just get the Kokie one. I'll put their website down below. They do sell their products in store some places as well. It does look similar. I have used this Neutrogena one before, but I haven't obviously put it up against the Say one. Okay, also feels very hydrating, which I do like. The Neutrogena, I think, gives a little bit less glow. Like the more high-end side of my face definitely is a bit more glowy than on the Neutrogena side, but it does give a glow and definitely gives a hydration. So I would say it is a very similar product, just slightly less glowy, which could be a pro or con depending on how you kind of like your complexion to look, but this is a pretty good one. Okay, up next on the high-end side, we have the KVD Good Apple Foundation. This went so viral about a year ago, and it did go viral for good reason. It is super incredibly full coverage, but it feels lightweight on the skin. So I have this one in shade medium 42. I do have another one which I think might match me a little bit better. I think I'm gonna try this one first. I'm just gonna pounce my beauty blender in here. That's normally just how I like to apply it. You don't need a lot of this product, again, because it does give a really good coverage. This product is $40.50. I feel like it was a weird price. I don't know. I feel like makeup is normally like either a flat price, like high-end makeup at Sephora is normally a flat price or $99, not $50. But I was like, okay, $40.50, whatever. Not that that really matters, but it is a nice product for sure. Like you guys probably saw, I just blended that out in like 2 seconds, gave me a really good coverage, was super easy to blend out, and will just make your skin look airbrushed. Like any sort of issue you have, whether it be redness, acne, hyperpigmentation, whatever it is, like this will pretty much cover it up for the most part. And what's nice is this product is not drying. Now, with that being said, as much as this is a nice product, I found one of the best dupes, like literally ever. As soon as I tried it, I was like, oh, this is a total dupe for the KVD Good Apple. And honestly, a lot of other like full coverage yet still breathable foundations as well, and it is under $10. It's only $8 and some change, and that is the SheGlam Foundation Balm. If you watched my last video, I tried this out and was like, whoa, like this is really good. So really have been enjoying this. And when you guys see how similar this is for a huge price difference, you're gonna be like, whoa. So I'm going in with the shade 8 Peach. It literally even looks the same. I do the same thing, just tapping in the Beauty Blender, but this time I'm using the Kokie one, and I'm going to apply it to the skin. I do wanna thank SheGlam for partnering with me on this section of today's video, but like I said, I truly really like this product, and for the price, you cannot beat it. It performs very, very similarly with that very full coverage yet still breathable, non-drying like finish on the skin. Wears really well throughout the day. In my last video, I did do a wear test where I tested it out and then wore it all day. Wore really, really nicely and is obviously only a fraction of the price. And they both do have matte finishes. So even though I'm saying that they're breathable and they're not drying, they are matte, so they're not glowy, even though they're like the balm consistency. But if you're looking for something with a soft matte finish that's not drying and is gonna give you a great coverage, super fast, highly recommend this. It comes in 30 different shades as well, which is awesome. I will link it down below in my description box if you guys are interested in checking it out. And so far, our face is looking pretty good. Basically, the whole goal of this is to have our whole face look like we use the same products on both sides. And so far, we're looking pretty good. Okay, now for concealer on the high-end side, we're gonna be going in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is like a cult classic, super popular concealer. I feel like it is probably one of the most popular concealers at Sephora. If any of you guys work there, let us know in the comments, but I would assume it probably is. This retails for $31. It is a medium coverage. It has a radiant kind of finish. Like it's not super matte, but I wouldn't say it's like crazy radiant, but still a very, very beautiful product. I'm gonna blend this out with my beauty blender to show you guys. I have this one in shade Vanilla. It's also very long lasting, which is great. So totally understand the hype and why it is so popular, but a really great drugstore alternative. And honestly, even the packaging looks the same. Like if I'm holding both of these and you cover up the brands, like you could honestly like barely tell the difference. But that is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. So I have this one in shade Fair, very, very similar in claims. Also a more medium coverage, a bit more of a hydrating type finish. It's not super matte. I'm gonna go in with the Kokie sponge and blend it out. And this normally retails for like $6 or $7 max. You can normally find it for cheaper depending on where you get it as well. The shades on the ones that I have are a little bit different, so I feel like that's making them appear on the skin slightly different. I will say the NARS one does look a bit more brightening on my skin, but I think that has to do with the shade difference. But overall, both great options. Alrighty, up next, I am very eager to see how this works. So I went and bought this today at Ulta. I have never tried this. This is one of the most popular bronzers that is also very expensive. This is the Chanel, I don't even know how to say it. So Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream, the Soleil bronzer. You guys have probably seen this. It's very bougie. I mean, it's Chanel, so it's beautiful. It was also $50, so should be beautiful. Anyway, so I purchased this morning at Ulta and we're gonna put it to the test today because again, this is like one of the most popular bronzers. It's supposed to be so pretty, but I think that I have a drugstore dupe for it, but we're gonna try this first and see. Let's go in with this and see if it is worth the $50 price point. I'm just using this IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe complexion brush. This is like the best. So I'm gonna just swirl it in there to get some on and tap it on the skin. It has a scent to it. It does smell nice. It's not like super overpowering, but this is just supposed to give a really pretty, like healthy glow to the skin. And it looks like it is doing that for sure. Blending out beautifully and very naturally. But as far as I can tell so far, the dupe that I have for this, you guys are going to literally love it because it's very similar to this. And again, a fraction of the price. This is pretty though. Like I can't say that it is not pretty, but for $50, honestly, I don't think there's any bronzer out there that's worth $50. If I was not doing this video, I personally would not have purchased this, which is why I have never tried it. Cause I will spend $50 on like a foundation or a skincare product or an eyeshadow palette, maybe if it was like a large palette, but a bronzer is like, I don't know, I feel like that's a tough sell, but this is beautiful. I will give it that. Anyways, now that I'm the proud owner of this $50 bronzer, I'm gonna show you a much cheaper alternative that in my opinion is just as good. And that is the Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm. So it looks like this. Soul Body is basically like associated with ColourPop. It's like, they're all kind of under the same umbrella. This one also has a scent. It is very different. This one is more tropical, where the Chanel one was like a little bit more like perfumey almost. Still a very nice scent on the Chanel one though too. This one is more like coconut, tropical, summer vibes. There's a medium shade in this. There is also a light shade, but I have been using the medium and it works just fine for me. This is, I believe, $9. So $9 as compared to $50, and then it's on sale right now, so I'm not sure if it will work, but you should be able to use my affiliate code, which is code Kelly, with ColourPop on Soul Body, and it should get you another 10% off. So it could be even less than $9. When you guys see this, you're gonna be like, stunning. I'm using a different, same brush, but a different one. I just have multiple of these It Cosmetics brushes. And I'm gonna tap this on. I mean, it works the same way. It blends flawlessly into the skin, gives a beautiful bronzy glow, and it's natural. You can build it up or just do a light wash of color and it looks so, so pretty. There is not a 40 something dollar difference in between these two, at least not in my opinion. The shades are slightly different. The one from Sol in the shade that I used is a little bit more warm tone than the Chanel one, but I think the shade light might be pretty similar to the Chanel one. So, because I got the lighter shade in the Chanel, there are 2 shades in that one as well, but they work pretty much exactly the same. So I would highly recommend checking out the Sol one. I recently discovered this and was like, why have I not heard more people talk about this? And I'm excited that I actually got to try it against the Chanel one because I would definitely say it's a dupe. We love it. Okay, this next one I'm very interested to see how this works because it's 2 products that I really love that I think are gonna be dupes for one another, but I haven't tried them like next to each other. So anyways, on this side, I'm gonna be using the Say Dew Blush in Chili. If you have watched my channel in the past like 2 months, you've seen me talk about this, rave about this. I love it. It is beautiful. They're basically cream blushes, so you just pop it on, you know, like this, but they have like a dewy glow to them. Like they almost kind of look like wet on the skin. They're just really, really pretty. They blend flawlessly. They're pigmented without being like too much. Like you can build them up, but on their own, they just give a really pretty like flush to the cheeks. And I really, really love it. But it is $24 at Sephora. So our friends over at e.l.f. just recently dropped a $7 luminous version of their putty blushes, which I love their putty blushes, but the original ones, they weren't super matte, but they really did not have any like shimmer or sheen to them, where these ones have like a slight shimmer to them and are so pretty. So I kind of have 2 shades. I think this one is probably gonna be the closer bet. This is the shade St. Bart's. It looks a little dark, but I swatched it and it looked quite similar to Chili. So I'm gonna put this on the cheek on the drugstore kind of side and we will see how it compares because it's the same concept, like a wash of color, but also kind of gives this dewy glow. Oh my goodness, they are closer than I thought they were gonna be. Wow. You like can't even tell. Oh my goodness gracious. We are testing some good dupes today. Wow. I mean, I still love the Say blush. This is beautiful. But the e.l.f., even the shade, I thought the shade was gonna be more different, but it's really not. It's very, very similar. They do look completely different. They apply differently. Like these are in, you know, kind of pressed into a pan where this does have a doe foot. I do like the way this applies better. It is a little bit easier, but I mean, dang, they are quite similar. And the e.l.f. one is like 1/3 of the price, so that is pretty crazy. Dang. Okay, this next one, I'm very eager to see this. So I recently tried the blush and contour ones from Charlotte Tilbury, but I hadn't actually tried the highlighter ones from her. So I recently tried this one in the shade Pillow Talk and it was so insanely beautiful. I was like, wow, this is stunning. Now the thing about this is that not only is it $40, which is expensive, I'm gonna put it on my cheeks like this, but it's also nearly impossible to find like all the time. So it's like, even if you can justify spending the 40 bucks, you can't even find them because everybody buys them. So I was lucky enough to be able to snag one, but it is truly beautiful. Like you can see on my cheek, it just gives the most pretty sheen. What I like about these is that they're not glitter. It's not just throwing glitter on your face for a highlight. It really is giving you like this lit from within type glow. And it's really, really pretty, like, especially when the light hits it to the side. Stunning. But again, $40 and hard to find. So Miss Drew Barrymore has apparently given us a dupe and I am very, very eager to see how this works. So this is the Spotlight Liquid Illuminator. I mean, it even looks the same, like packaging wise, even like down to this. Like they were trying to dupe this, like you could tell, because it's like one thing like the Say blush and like the e.l.f., like the packaging isn't even the same. These, they're like the same thing. But I'm very interested to see how this works. So I have this in the shade Gleam, you know, essentially again, when you open it up, same sort of story. Now for a drugstore product, this was pretty expensive. I did find it at CVS, which tends to be at the higher end of the price point of drugstore makeup, but I paid $15 for this. It was $14.99, so with tax it was over 15 bucks. Which for a drugstore product is expensive, but we are gonna see if it's the same, you know, because it's still less than 40 bucks. So I'm gonna kind of squeeze out, get some into the cap, and then dot it on my cheek, and then blend out with my finger just in the same way. Ooh, we may have something here. Oh, wow. I mean, very, very similar. Dang. The Flower Beauty one is a little bit darker. If you see it like side to side, you honestly, oh my gosh. I'm almost like, whoa, like some of these dupes are so spot on. It's honestly, I feel like once it's blended out, it doesn't even really look any darker. It looked a little bit darker at first, but I feel like once it's blended out, it kind of gives us that same thing, that lit from within glow, gives you a highlight without being glittery. And I mean, side to side, really not much of a difference at all. That's pretty crazy. Oh my goodness, we are getting some good dupes today. Oh my gosh, okay. So if you can find these, because they have been selling out many places, definitely would recommend picking it up. They do have 3 different shades. Again, this one is the shade Gleam. I just used the CVS app so I could search like where around me had it in stock. And that's how I was able to find it. But Flower does have a website too though, but I mean, we are getting some good dupes today. Okay, up next, we're gonna jump into brows. So on the high-end side, I'm going to be using one of my all-time favorite brow products. This is the Tarte DIY Detailing Brow Pen. Originally, when they brought this out, you could only find it, I think, on QVC, but now they do have it in stores too, and it's so good. I don't know why I don't hear more people talk about this. But I'm just gonna kind of shake it up and go in with it. This is $21 and it just has a really tiny little precise applicator, and you can just go in and like flick up and create little brow strokes. So it just looks really, really natural on the brows. So it is definitely a go-to of mine, but I found a really good drugstore alternative. And that is the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow Pen. This is like $8.99 and very, very similar. Is like a little brow pen that you can go in and just do little brow strokes with, and pretty much gives the exact same look. I do like the color. I use shade Taupe in the Tarte one, and I feel like the color is a little bit better. Some of the colors are hard in this CoverGirl one because they show up a little bit lighter than they look, but overall it works super, super similarly. Okay, now for mascara, on the high-end side, we're gonna go in with the Milk Rise Mascara. So this is $28. It does give a good lift to your lashes though, which is kind of how I like my lashes to be. It has like a curved brush and does give a lift to the lashes, but if there's one thing that I feel like the drugstore really has excelled at for a long time, that is mascaras. And I recently tried the highly rated anti-gravity mascara from Milani. This is $9.99. Different brush, not the same sort of thing, but gives the same, if not honestly better, lift results to your lashes. It's gonna pick your lashes up and really lift them. Again, hence like the anti-gravity for like a third of the price. Like honestly, the Milani side looks better. So it's just, honestly, it's better than the Milk Mascara. So highly, highly recommend. Like, I'm gonna put some of the Milani, I feel like, on this side. Actually, no, I'm not gonna, we're gonna wait till we do the whole thing, but I was gonna try and make it just look a little bit better, but I'm gonna do the whole side by side so we can see at the end. I'll apply a little bit more of the Milk Mascara, hopefully to get them up a little bit more. And we're doing just more of like an everyday kind of look today. So last but not least, we're gonna jump in to lips, and I have 2 really good ones. So on the high-end side, we have Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, probably one of the most popular like lipsticks in the world right now. And for a good reason, it's beautiful. It's like a pinky, nude, mauve. It's like the perfect mix of like pink, mauve, and nude, which is I think again why it's so popular. So I'm putting this on the high-end side. It's absolutely beautiful, but it is $34. Now L'Oreal, this is their L'Oreal Color Riche nude line. It's the 173 shade. It's like in French, so I'm not gonna butcher the name, but it's the shade 173. This is like between $6 and $9 depending on where you get it, and very, very similar, and you can see when I apply it. The L'Oreal is slightly more pink, but overall, I mean, barely a difference. Both absolutely beautiful. The L'Oreal one is just quite a bit cheaper. The L'Oreal one does last a little bit less. I will say that. I will say the Charlotte Tilbury lasts longer on my lips. It's because this one is a little bit more matte, where this one is a little bit more creamy. So I do find that Pillow Talk does last a little bit longer, but shade-wise and formula and all that kind of stuff, very, very similar. Then for gloss, we're gonna go in with the Fenty Heat Gloss Bomb. This one is in the shade Hot Cherry. This is one of my all-time favorites. This is $24, but it is beautiful because it gives a plumpness to the lips. But honestly, I just really love it for the color. Like I feel like it's such a juicy kind of glossy color. So that's truly what I love about it. But the NYX This Is Juice lip gloss, this is $8. This one is in the shade Pomegranate Clout, and it looks very, very similar. I mean, pretty much the same as far as color goes. Now, I will say this one is not as plumping as the Fenty one. The Fenty one, you are gonna get like those plump tingles. With this, it has electrolytes in it. So you get like slight little tingles, but it's not necessarily plumping, I wouldn't say. But shade-wise, they look nearly identical on the lips. The Fenty is a hair darker than the NYX is, but overall, again, super, super similar. So I feel like we were able to find some really good dupes. I mean, some were more spot on than others, but like for the most part, all of these were really, really close. And I feel like we did such a perfect, like everyday, easy summertime look. So you guys can, you know, get the high-end versions if you like high-end makeup, but then we do have some great drugstore alternatives as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.